welcome back for part 5 in the classical guitar little instructional series that we're doing. In the last video, we talked about the notes in first position, all the strings, and hopefully you've gotten a little bit more familiar with those. Now let's talk about some actual reading music and how we can apply that. So just remember really quickly that in the treble clef, the lines are every good boy does fine. So E, G, B, D, and F. Those are the note names for the lines. And then the spaces spell face. So F, A, C, and E. Those are the spaces. So let's start with string 3. Open string 3. Open string 3 is a G. And that G is going to be located on the second line, the good line, the G line. And from there, we're going to go to our next note, which is the next space right above that, and that's E. And then moving, if you're looking at this visual, moving right up the staff. So we started with G, going to A, then we're going to B, C, D, E, F, and G. And so, as you saw, we kind of skipped strings. So a great way to break this down, and the way that this is broken down on this visual as well, is by string. So on string 3, we have G and A. On string 2, we start on the third line, B, and then we have B, C, and D. And then on string 1, we move up to the final space, F-A-C, E, and we go E, F, and G. Now, we haven't really talked about right on top of the staff, but that is a G. And so if you look, this is laid out, just like we were talking about in the last video, in a very alphabetical fashion. And again, the way that I think is best probably to familiarize yourself with this for these notes that are on the staff is to just go through and sort of play them until you kind of get familiar with them. But you're going to need to keep looking at the staff in order to get comfortable. And we're going to go through some things later on to get a little bit more comfortable. But just go through and look and go string 3 is going to be G. G is on the second line, and A. A is on the second space. And then moving forward and doing things like that, reading it backwards, and then reading it in interesting patterns maybe, going G, B, D, F. So I skipped all of the spaces and then just play all the spaces. A, C, E, G. And you can do other things where you skip maybe 2 notes, G, C, F, or starting on A, if you skip 2 notes, A, D, G, and figuring out, just getting familiar, just going through it. The more that you do it, the more familiar you're going to get with it, and that's going to be the biggest barrier, is just spending a little bit of time and getting really comfortable with it.